Moon Balloons by E.G. Ryan. Edited by Bailey. This book is for my family and Mark and India. This is Max and this is Nick. They live in a little striped house on a little green hill behind a big apple tree. Max and Nick like many things. They like their cat Foxy and their dog Spunky. They like their fire engine and their toy duck. But most of all, they like balloons. Big balloons, small balloons, yellow balloons, orange balloons, round balloons, and not so round balloons. Max and Nick like to take walks with their balloons. They like to walk on sunny days, windy days, rainy days, hot days, and cold days. Foxy the cat and Spunky the dog are never far behind. One day, it was so windy that Max and Nick lost hold of their balloons. The boys watched as their balloons floated up past the apple tree, up over the little striped house. Max and Nick cried as they watched their balloons float higher and higher, past the birds flying west, up and over a big rainbow, past some beautiful butterflies, and finally, all the way over the pink cloud in the sky. Max and Nick cried so hard they did not see a hot air balloon floating down from the sky, landing not far from the apple tree. Max and Nick were so sad. If only the balloons would come back. They were crying so hard that they did not see the other hot air balloon in the sky move to catch their balloons. They were crying so much they did not see a little man in the hot air balloon that had landed not far from the big apple tree. Only Foxy the cat and Spunky the dog saw the hot air balloon and the funny little man. Max and Nick had never been this sad. Max had lost his favorite blue balloon with the orange star. Nick had lost his favorite pink balloon with the orange butterfly. Then Max stopped crying. And then Nick stopped crying. They had heard something. Turning, they saw Spunky the dog barking behind the big apple tree. They had to go see why Spunky the dog was barking behind the big apple tree. There, hidden behind the big apple tree, Max and Nick found a hot air balloon and a little man with a big yellow beard, a big pointy pink hat, and big pointy green shoes. The little man had a hole in his big balloon. "What happened to your hot air balloon?" Max and Nick asked the funny little man. "A big bird has flown right into my balloon and popped it," he answered, "and now I cannot go home." Max and Nick ran to their little striped house and brought back needles and thread. They helped the little man sew up the hole in the hot air balloon. "Who are you?" Max asked. "What do you do?" Nick asked. "I am a moon balloon man," the moon balloon man answered. "I catch lost balloons in the sky with my little orange net and bring them to the moon." The moon balloon man invited Max and Nick along for a ride in his hot air balloon. Foxy the cat meowed and would come too, but for Spunky the dog there was not enough room. He wagged his tail, happy to stay on the ground. Max and Nick laughed as the hot air balloon floated up past the apple tree, up over the little striped house, up past the birds flying west, over the big rainbow and past the butterflies. They laughed as the hot air balloon floated up and up and up, over the big pink cloud, all the way up to the moon. The moon balloon man showed Max and Nick the moon. "Do you see your balloons?" he asked. "We see our balloons," they said. Max saw his favorite blue balloon with the orange star. Nick saw his favorite pink balloon with the orange butterfly. "Do not be sad about your balloon," the moon balloon man said. "They hold up the moon. Without them, the moon would fall from the sky." Max and Nick were happy. Their balloons held up the moon. "It is time to go home. I have work to do," the moon balloon man said after a while. "See, the sun is already asleep, and you should be too." Max and Nick laughed then as the hot air balloon floated down past the big pink cloud, past the butterflies, past the big rainbow, past the big apple tree where the birds sat to rest. They smiled when they saw Spunky the dog and their little striped house on the little green hill. The hot air balloon landed behind the big apple tree. "Did you enjoy your ride to the moon?" the moon balloon man asked. Yes, yes, we did, Max and Nick answered. Foxy the cat meowed and jumped from the hot air balloon. Spunky the dog barked, happy to have everyone home again. It was time to say goodbye. The moon balloon man still had much work to do up in the sky. Max and Nick were about to leave when the moon balloon man called out, "Wait, I have something for you." Out of his little orange net, he pulled two balloons he had caught on the way down. He handed Max a blue balloon with a yellow cat. He handed Nick a yellow balloon with a green dog. Max and Nick minded their manners and said, "Thank you, moon balloon man." Max and Nick walked home to their little striped house on the little green hill. Foxy the cat and Spunky the dog walked home with them too. Long into the night, Max and Nick sat at their bedroom windows and watched the moon balloon man float back to the moon, where they knew all lost balloons were taken to keep the moon in the sky.